This is Mr. Banta here. I'm here to talk to you about the chemistry of life, starring H2O. H2O is two hydrogens and one oxygen, and it is critical for life. Because it has plus charges by the hydrogens and a minus down by the oxygen, that means that it has uneven distribution of charges, which means that it's polar. And so it acts like magnets with other water molecules. So you can see an example of that here. These are magnets, and you shake them up, but they keep on sticking together. These nonpolar marbles, they're not magnetic at all. They, they just go in any old direction they want to, and they don't stick too well together. So that means that when you have oil, which is nonpolar, and water that is polar, you shake them up, and you look like, oh, I got it mixed. But no, all the waters are sticking together because they're magnets. And since they're more dense, they go to the bottom, and all those oil molecules, which are like those marbles, they all sit on top of them, and it's going to separate out again. So you could say that water is hydrophilic and oil is hydrophobic. Okay, so another thing about the magnetic quality of water is that when the water molecules stick together, you would say it's cohesive. When it sticks to other stuff, like this plastic here, you'd say that's cohesive. And so interesting things can happen. You can go like this, and the water stays inside. Why is that? Well, it's because I have a screen here. The water sticks to itself between the holes, and the water also sticks onto the screen. Sticking onto the screen is adhesion, sticking to each other is cohesion. Okay, another cool thing about water is that it is less dense, gets less dense when it freezes. So when it freezes, it floats on water. Now you'll see here that as the water melts of the ice cube, that water that just melted is colder than the room temperature water, so it goes down, just like other things. Most things, as they get colder, they get more dense, but water, because it has those magnetic poles, they have the positive hydrogens and the negative oxygen, it makes them line up in a certain way that they take up more space, and that means it's less dense, and that's why it floats on the water. Okay, another cool thing about water is that it's a universal solvent that loves to dissolve stuff very easily, like salt and sugar. And so, can you see that? Mixing up. So it's a universal solvent, which is good for living things. And one other thing about it is that water can take a lot of heat, like from the sun, and not change the temperature. So that's really important for the earth because, as you know, we're having a situation where the earth is getting warmer and warmer. Well, the oceans are really helping us out by taking the heat, yet not changing its temperature much. Okay, that's called a high specific heat. It can take a lot of heat and not change. And that's also important for living things. It helps keep our temperature constant, like our temperature should be around 98.6. And because of water, when we run, uh, our temperature doesn't go as high as it would, or when we're cold, not moving around, our temperature maintains that temperature much easier. So anyway, thanks a lot for hearing me out about water being very important for it's very critical for life. Thanks.